The first candle strategy is by far the easiest way to become profitable fast. It's incredibly simple, repeatable, and so effective it almost feels like cheating. In this video, I'm gonna give you my script that automatically plots the strategy on your chart and then the 3 steps to follow. After 9 years of trading, I think this is by far the easiest way for anyone to start making profitable trades. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you the top 6 stocks to trade the strategy on, and I will even show you a live trade example from this morning. So with this strategy, we're either going to be using a 1 or a 5-minute time frame. And to give you a little bit of context, when you apply the script on your chart, you're going to see these lines. Now, not every day will you see either a short or long signal and a take profit or stop loss. Some days will look like this. So it's not on every stock every day that you'll be able to trade this strategy, but across many stocks, you'll hopefully be able to find one that does actually line up and that gives you the buy or sell signal. Now, this strategy essentially exploits liquidity imbalances during the open range. And what we do is focus on one single high impact candle, which is the 15-minute candle during those first 90 minutes of market open. So if we look at the chart here, just on SPY, you'll see how the script has automatically plotted out the entirety of the strategy for us. Now, this will happen live in the morning. So obviously the first 15-minute candle of the day, you're gonna have to wait to close before we get that signal, if we do get it, okay? So based off of how the market is trading, based off of the candles we see form, the script is then able to identify whether the criteria is met or not for this setup. So the days that look like this, again, this means there's gonna be no entry on that specific ticker and there'll be no trade to take. So on SPY, on this day, we wouldn't have traded this strategy. Now, we could have on another stock, but the following day, we would have. So step 1, once you've got your time frame, either a 1-minute or 5-minute applied, you're gonna pull up a stock. Step 2, all you're gonna do is wait for the entry signal. And the entry signal is gonna look like this. You can see how it says short at 85.96. So that would be 85.96 a share on this stock, WFC. So we'll get then our stop loss and our take profit. So as soon as you see the yellow arrow formed and then following that, you'll see short at 85.96. That is the entry signal. It'll tell you either short or long, and it will mark out what that current share price of the stock was when that signal appeared. And then you'll get your stop loss, which is the red line, and your take profit, which is the green line, okay? And so you're gonna make sure the first 15-minute candle closes. Once that's done, then you'll be able to see if the signal appeared or not. It's either gonna appear right away or it's not. And again, if it doesn't, you'll just see 2 gray lines. Now, during that first 15 minutes, the market will be moving and the strategy may appear to show short or long, but you have to fully wait for confirmation of that first 15-minute candle close. And then you'll see whether you get that signal or not. So that's important. Just make sure you wait until 9:45, technically 9:46 Eastern Standard Time to get that signal, and then you can go ahead and enter. And so here's another example here where we got our short signal. We would have a stop loss set at 90.70. We would have a take profit set at 89.66. And you could see here how we would have hit that take profit. Here is another short. Okay, this is on a 5-minute time frame. And you could see here how we ended up hitting the take profit. Now, the way that I like to manage these are once we see one 5-minute candle close above the red line, and then I'm going to close that trade out for a loss. So for example, because we were touching the red line throughout, this wouldn't have acted as a stop. We would have not actually got stopped out here. Just a really simple rule is to not get stopped out, right? And step 3, obviously you're gonna close that trade out once the take profit has been hit or the stop loss has been broken, and after 5 minutes, therefore invalidated. So again, if we close that first 5-minute candle below our stop loss without touching it, we're gonna be out of the trade. Here's a great example here of a long where we waited first 15 minutes. We then got the long signal at 467 on Microsoft. We would have our stop loss set here. We would have entered here, and we could see our take profit here. And so we would have taken that trade, and that would have been a great trade. So with options, we're obviously able to bet on a stock going up or down. So being able to trade longs by buying calls, or in this scenario, trading puts, okay? So being able to short a stock, betting on that stock to obviously go down. So 498.32. After the first 15 minutes, we got our yellow arrow. We then got our short signal. Our stop loss was predetermined. Our take profit was predetermined. And that was a quick and easy trade. Let's watch a quick replay from this morning over inside my mentorship, because one of the things I do is I trade live every single morning. I share my entries and my exits with my students, so they're essentially able to follow along, copy myself, make money along myself, or lose money just depending on how I'm doing, and learn the strategies and the systems that I trade. So I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested in checking out my mentorship, and I hope to see you over there. But with that said, watch how well this short position played out this morning on SPY. Let's see what happens here. Maybe we just get squeezed out real quick. We just need this thing to roll over. Back down to middle VWAP would be perfect. So again, just to recap, we're going to be on a 1 or a 5 minute time frame. We're then going to wait after that first 15-minute candle close to see whether we get a long or a short signal. And step 3, we're going to close that trade if the take profit is hit or the stop loss is broken. And if neither take profit or stop loss are hit or broken, we're going to close those trades out at 3:55. So I'll close that trade out at the end of the day because I don't like swinging these overnight. Now, with that said, let's talk about these 6 best stocks to trade this strategy on. Now, these stocks all have yielded between a 65 to 80% win rate over the last 6 months. So what I actually did was I took 100 plus stocks within different sectors and I back tested those all over 6 months of time to figure out really what stocks we should be trading with this strategy. And so let's pull up that watch list. Let's look at the back tested performance. And what you can see here are our 6 stocks. So we've got Microsoft, Cost, Oracle, ABT, APH, and WFC. And of course, we've got our win rate spanning from 65% to 80%. We've got our profit factor. So anything above 1 is going to be profitable, and the further away from 1, the bigger the number, the more profit, right? It's just an easy way to determine how profitable or not profitable that strategy you're trading is. So largest profit factor of 4 on ABT. And then our average R to R, or risk to reward. You can see here, ABT had a 1.40, 4.06 profit factor with a 70% win rate. So just because you have a higher win rate doesn't mean you're going to make more money, because in this case, our highest win rate, WFC, of about 78, almost 80%, had a 3.45 profit factor, where APH had a lower win rate and a higher profit factor. ABT had an even lower win rate and an even higher profit factor. So ideally, every day what you're going to do is this. So you are going to add all 6 of these stocks to your watch list. You can see here, I've got ABT, APH, Cost, Microsoft, Oracle, and WFC. And then it's just a matter of quickly flipping through those stocks. We'll go to Cost. And again, make sure you're on a 1 or a 5 minute, because those are the only time frames this will work on. So let's say on a 5 minute time frame here, we got our entry signal long, we bought calls on Cost, and we hit our take profit here. Okay, keep in mind it is going to gray out the first 15, and then this last bit is grayed too, but this is still going to act as the take profit. We'll keep flipping through. So yesterday we would have had 1 win on Cost. Microsoft, let's check out. Looks like on Microsoft, that short we would have gotten actually stopped out on. So 1 win, 1 loss. Oracle, and again, it depends on how big those winners are and how big those losers are. 1 loss on Oracle, so 2 losses, 1 win, and we could still be profitable just based off of the risk to reward and the win rate, keep in mind. There was not a trade on APH yesterday, so you can see that. And there also wasn't a trade on WFC. And so it'll also say there's no trade and the bias is none. Let's go over a couple more historical examples so you can really see how well this works. This was my SPY trade from yesterday. Short, entered here, stop here, take profit here. Quick and easy one that played out within 15 minutes. QQQ, we don't typically get a ton of signals on, but when we do, they tend to perform very well. You can see here, we've got our long and we've got our stop and we've got our take profit. So we would have bought calls and we would have taken profit here. Short here, didn't quite get to our take profit, would have closed this out for a loss later on in the day. Here's a clean one, got our long entry signal. We would have had our stop loss here and our take profit here. We would have hit take profit. So you're not gonna have to make any decisions. You're gonna have to show up. You're gonna have to go through your watch list of 6 stocks or any other stock you wanna trade. You're gonna wait for those first 15 minutes. Once we get that first 15-minute candle close, you'll then see a signal appear or not. You're gonna then buy a call or a put if you're long or short, wait for the take profit to hit, or then obviously wait for that stop loss to have been broken and invalidated. And after 5 minutes, if we're still trading below the stop loss, we're gonna close out that trade. And that just helps, again, avoid any noise or the market just probing areas and remounting or retracing. So if you'd like access to the indicator, here's what you're gonna do. Click the link in the description below. It's gonna take you over to my free Discord server. Once you're in the Discord, you're gonna head over to Trading Indicators, and within Trading Indicators, you will then see First Candle Strategy, and there will be a link right here. You can click on that link. It's gonna take you to the setup page, and you'll be able to install and import that into your Thinkorswim trading platform. And again, if you're interested in trading live with me every single morning over inside my mentorship, the link is also in the description below for that. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.